hit it via live, Mom, or not yet?
We're live.
All right. Are we for sure backing on?
The technical difficulties
Yes.
hopefully are over.
Yes, everybody. And we were. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we did a little bit of like an intro before this that we got taken off live for a little bit, but we're back on. I'll probably upload that one after this, I'm assuming. I mean, we basically talked about what family life.
Yeah, family.
People recognizing us out in public, which is so funny because, you know, we're famous.
Famous.
I've gotten to the point where if someone asks me what I do, like at this point I just say Instagram model. I'm like, not like a runway model, Instagram model. What do you tell? If people ask you like, what do you do? Like, do you say everything that you do, or
No,
like,
I'm
what's
just
your
like I'm a
name?
mom. So usually
Yeah.
like that, like if we, especially when we were going out, like if I go out with anybody, like go out with Mama D, go out with Lux, go out with Bunny, like anything, it'll always just be like, oh well, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm a mom. And they're like, well, what else do you do?
I've seen like this funny video that's online, and and then Oni keeps Oni keeps forgetting to do this. You want to just turn it off? Everyone's gonna look at this. Okay, yeah. Wait, okay, where did we leave off on? Sorry, I'm like.
You saw a funny
About
video
mom.
online.
Yes, a funny video that people will go up to people in cars, like super nice cars. They'll ask them like, "What do you do?"
Yeah.
And then they asked one lady. She's like, "I'm married."
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah,
like,
that would be me.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to do that. Like,
No, she did. Yeah, they answered.
she got all her nice stuff. She's like, "Oh, I'm married." It was like literally, like, and she was so real. She's like, "I'm married." Like what? Like duh. Like what else?
I love it.
It was
Like that would be me.
Yeah, it
They're
was
like,
the
what do you
best
do for a living? I'd be like,
So
I'm a mom.
yeah,
Like that would
you're
just be it. Like
you're like,
that is
what
the
about
answer.
you?
I know. Why are you asking me this question? Who are you? Why'd you stop me? Because I'm famous.
I know. One time too, with my mom, some people were like, "Oh, can you take a picture of us, like them?" And my mom's like, "No pictures right now." She's like, "I don't want any pictures." They were
They were like, hold on.
no, they were weird. They're like, "Huh?" And then my mom, they asked you to do one of them, and it was so awkward.
I would have taken a selfie.
It was way too funny though. I was like,
That is funny. No pictures right now. Not always about you.
But it is.
but it really is, guys.
Still no pictures.
So back to your modeling stuff. How did you first get into modeling? Like, when did you know you were like, I want to do this? I like taking pictures.
Am I a model?
I think so. You don't think?
I don't know.
Or how did you get into? I mean, you do photo shoots. Have you?
I know. I'm
always
just
liked
kidding.
doing
I'm
that?
just joking with you.
I'm like, should I change the wording? I'm like, what else should we say?
She's like,
I
wait,
mean, it's
was that on the no
Pioneer?
list? Was that on the
I'm
no
like,
list to
no,
discuss today?
I'm like,
no. So it started with like ballet stuff, and then I started doing more glamour boudoir, and like I just love it. I have just this weird passion of myself.
I love.
Yeah. No, I don't have a passion, but
You don't? I mean,
I feel like I feel,
self-confidence for me.
but I
yeah.
definitely think like a lot of the times that people just think like photo shoots are like, oh, you just stand there and you just are like, you know what I mean? But it's not. It's like it's a lot of work, and even if you
Wait,
do
how's
like,
that again?
I know. I'm all,
like this, like this, like this. Okay, all of a sudden stop from
Wait,
the
one
PG-13.
more time. I went on widescreen.
no, everyone watching, this is our 7th inning stretch. So everyone at home do the same
Ready
thing.
and
Everybody just stretch. Just put it up and stretch.
love it.
This is your daily your stretch reminder.
Okay,
from
so this is
Michelle.
why I didn't have to go to the gym this morning. You know, the trainers are probably watching this like, what? This is why you missed. We see it. But I'm stretching. See, I'm stretching. But definitely I think it's an art form that anybody can do if you have the confidence. I mean, there was even somebody that I met at Starbucks recently, and she was like, oh my God, we have the same face. But inside, I was like, we don't have the same face. But that's fine. We can pretend.
Who says that?
Yeah, she said, it was like some lady at Starbucks. It was
Such a weird thing to say to
it was
someone,
really weird.
too.
It was very odd. But she's like, we have the same face. And she's like, how old are you? And I was like, 25. And she's like, oh my God, same. I was like, oh my God, we're like the same person. You know, it wasn't trying to be fake, but it was just.
You're like, you're my
obviously
doppelganger. Is that what it's called? Doppelganger?
It's a doppelganger, but she wasn't it. But I think it was just kind of like, you never know what can make somebody smile. And that's why I think I like really enjoy the content that I make and like what I do in the photo shoots that I have. They're not, you know, I'm not reckoning the millions of dollars, but I think a lot of the pictures that I take have become my own art. So, for example, there's a picture that was over my bed. Now it's on the floor. I got a new bed, but it's like me in a tub full of flowers, and it's like been like one of my favorite pictures. And then I have like tons of canvases at home that are like either up or not up because of just the changes we've been making. But yeah, every picture that I'm like in love with, I'll like make a canvas print of it.
That's what I need to do.
Yeah, and I love it, and I think people are like, oh my God, you're obsessed with yourself, and I'm like, well,
You're like,
yeah, of course I am.
Duh. Have you seen me?
I mean,
hello.
Duh.
Exactly.
And my husband, he doesn't say anything about it. He doesn't say like he hates it. He doesn't say that he loves it. But I always ask him like, what do you think of this picture? And he's like, you look so good. Oh, you're so blah. Oh my God, look at your cheek. Look at your boob. Usually it's boobs. It's just like, oh my God, babe, your boobs. So nice. I like your boobs.
Oh, yeah,
But like for the longest time, he had this. It was like one of my at the time it was one of my favorite pictures because I was like super duper skinny.
Yeah.
My boobs were like boom. And it was like this orange bikini that I had taken with a photographer, and he had it as his lock screen. So he would, he'd go into the office, and they're like, "Who's that?" And he's like, "It's my wife." And they would look at him like sideways, like
yeah, right. You wish.
yeah, like, okay, so who is this really? You know? But now he like changed it to a most recent picture with that Steve Bagley had taken of me, and it's of my butt. And it's like, okay, fine. If I'm in a bikini, like I think that's okay. That's kind of cute or whatever. But now it's just like of my like ass, and I'm like
a close-up booty.
it's just like me going like this, holding my butt like this, and I'm like behind like this. I'm like, why did you pick that picture? And he's like, it just looks really good.
Aw, that's cute though.
Yeah,
Your number one
he's a
fan.
sap. Yeah, he's my number one fan besides myself. But I think my kids come a close like second and third because I was like. Before I leave, like today, my son was like, "You look so pretty, Mom." Oh my gosh! And my daughter's like, "I love your shirt and your bra that holds your boobies in." I'm like, "Oh my God!"
Actually, she's like, "It's the undergarments
She's
for
like,
me."
Yeah.
Wait, my mom's
It's the
wearing
lingerie for me, girl.
She's like, "You wearing a bra, Mom? It's so pretty."
Oh my gosh, Mom,
Right?
this is new.
Jazzy, tell her the joke about the Hoochie Mama.
Oh,
when she was a little girl.
So when I had a babysitter babysitting me, and
She was
they
like
said on
she was like 5 years old
I
in
think a song
preschool or kindergarten.
Or some
Commercial.
A song said like Hoochie Mama, and then I asked my babysitter, I'm like, what's your Hoochie Mama? She was like, oh, a girl that doesn't wear bra or panties. I said, my mom's a Hoochie Mama.
Oh,
I know.
well then, I guess we're all hoochie mamas.
And mind you, she's like 5 years old, right? So, she goes to bed. I come home at 2 or 3 in the morning from where we're out that night. And the nanny opens the door, like, with the
nervous.
scariest look on her face. And she's like, hi. And I'm like, hi. Okay, you leave now. I'm like, what's up? She's like, so, can we talk to you? So, two-parent, you're like, what happened? Is everything all right? She's like, so earlier, Jasmine asked me what a Hoochie Mama was. She's like, I don't know what to say. I just said a girl that doesn't, wear a bra or panties. She's like, and she said, oh, that's my mom. She's like, so please don't get mad at me if she calls you Hoochie Mama. She's like, I didn't mean it like that. She's like, I couldn't retract it at that point.
Hoochie Mama. Hoochie Mama.
Yeah, no, she was all excited. She's like, Hoochie Mama. I'm Hoochie Mama. And I was like, oh, Lord.
That's really funny, though. Like, that's like, and it's a memory that you have, right? So it's, I don't know. I think some people, but see, that goes back to like some parents are a little bit different, very reserved or whatever the case may be. And then they'll think like, your parenting or my parenting is like crazy. They're like, oh my God, these crazy. But I don't know.
Their own.
To each their own. My daughter just learned the word titty, and she's been titty, titty, titty. And I'm like, can you, can you not say titty, please?
At least not in public.
Or she'll go up, like, I don't know I don't know where she learned it, or maybe like she saw it on like a commercial or something, but like she goes up to your butt and she goes, maybe it was a music video, but she goes booty, 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 and I'm like, don't touch people's private parts.
She's like,
stop. Yeah, girl. That's really bad. And then remember when we were on the call and I was like, oh, you wanted to sing the body song?
Oh yeah.
And now I was like, look, Jasmine, look, because I think when I say these stories, people are like, oh no, you're crazy, and I was like,
No,
here's the video.
To us,
and
it's
so,
cute.
No, it's to me. I'm like, oh my, that's so cute. Like, how did you learn that? But then I was like, here, Jasmine, look. I was like, show Jasmine the body song, and then she did a whole little routine, and I was like,
That's a hard. I don't even know. It's like, I don't know. It's like.
but she
Yeah,
does it.
no,
She goes like, she
yeah.
does the whole like movement with her butt and everything, and like I was like,
I
oh my God,
can't
that's
even do
so
it as an adult.
I can't even. I don't know. I'm just gonna put like the video on like an iPad and just hold it on my body like this.
That would
Doing
actually
it.
be a really good TikTok idea.
TikToks are so hard. There's so much effort, and that's why I can't really get into it.
I don't know. I tried the well, I put it up. It was the busted challenge.
yeah.
So I did it and I almost fell over. And I didn't want to retake
you
it.
couldn't tell. I mean,
Because like the wall is right here, but like as I went down, my breastises were carrying me forward.
oh,
And I was falling forward, but I didn't want to fall forward because I knew for sure if I fell forward, it was on my husband's phone, he would have kept it, you know? So it would have been like forever evidence.
like,
That was
yeah.
not happening. So I just held the wall and I was like, you know?
Yeah.
But then
okay.
everyone's like, damn, that wall really holding you though. And I was like, look, you don't know the background because if I fell, it's like over.
I take the funniest pictures and videos of my mom.
Oh, horrible.
Do your
no,
ki- do
like
your kids do
if,
that
if,
too or no?
If I was ever to
No,
do
they
her
take
wrong,
selfies of themselves, like under their
Oh.
chin and stuff.
No, yeah, no, I'll be like on the plane sleeping and like triple chin, mouth open, like one
Oh,
eye.
those are the best.
And she takes a video of
Oh, those are
of
the
me.
best.
And then she'll be laughing and laughing. I'll be like, what are you laughing about? And then she'll like send it to all her, like our little best friend crew. She's like, look at my mom. And I'm like, why do you do that every single time?
Oh, I love it.
I don't know
all the time.
why. It's just
I
so
love it.
funny
I
to
think it's
me.
so funny. Yeah, sometimes like Kyle will be like doing this weird thing or like
Oh.
snoring hella loud and I'll like video it.
Oh, yeah.
I wish. So there was like an incident recently, like last week. I guess he had fallen down.
Oh, shit.
Sorry,
Tripped.
babe. I'm
Tripped.
really sorry.
He
But-
tripped or
no,
fell?
he tripped.
Okay.
He tripped.
I don't know.
I'm not expecting anyone. So he
Special guest.
I know. So he tripped.
So he tripped, and we have cameras, and the camera caught it, but he noticed that I didn't know that he tripped, and he like went and erased it, and I was like, why'd you erase it? He was like, well, I feel like if you saw it, you would have kept it and shared it, and I was like, yep, you're not wrong.
Who did you send it to? Just like your friend group or your like family friends?
I would send it to the internet. What do you mean?
Oh, you really? Would you post
No,
it
I
up?
mean maybe I might have.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot confirm or deny because didn't get to see it. But for sure, it would have definitely been shared like to maybe like friends or something. I don't know why, but I really can't take when people fall or they like jam their finger. I know it shouldn't be funny, but it just,
It's like, are you
I don't know
okay?
why it is.
But you're
Yeah,
like,
are you
trying
okay?
not to laugh, right?
yeah. So like even me, like I fell at the gym and I fell down and I was like laughing. You know, like obviously I'm in pain. Like everyone's like, "Are you okay? Are you gonna vomit?"
Have
I'm
you
like,
ever farted while you were working out?
I fart all the time. I'm farting right now. I farted like 10
You're
times
like,
since
this
we
is
started.
ASMR.
I'm all air it out.
You're like, and go to her website for more
Right?
farting videos.
Farting videos. Yeah, I'm not really like scared of farting, except if I know it's gonna smell. Like if I'm like, whoo, then I'm like, okay, let me hold that one in like for the rest of the day. But
I was just talking, or I saw like a topic of another video sometime that's like, do you guys fart in front of your significant others, or like even when like you first start dating, where you just open to like,
yeah, I
You
think
were
like,
open?
but I think like my very very first boyfriend ever, until we like lived together. Granted, this was like years and years ago. We lived together, and then I farted, and he's like, "Did you just fart?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I just farted in front of you." But like ever since then, like I just fart all the time. Like I don't care who it is,
Yeah.
and like if you don't like farting, like then, oh well.
I feel like in the beginning with me with people, I've always held it, but then it's like it's so uncomfortable because like then it like builds up. And you're like, oh my god,
And then
I
your
gotta go
stomach is
home.
hurting. Yeah.
Or like then I'd go to the bathroom, but then someone told me this trick where like if you if you kind of like spread a little bit like your cheek, even through like your pants, you just kind of spread it. It's like I guess you don't hear it, so as long as it doesn't smell, like you said. But it's like I guess it going through the tight cheeks that makes a noise, and it works.
Wait,
So
so
if you're
if you don't spread your butt cheeks,
It makes like the noise of the fart.
no. But so if you don't spread your butt cheeks, it'll make a noise every single time.
Not usually, not every time. I don't really have silent farts for the most part. Once in a while, but yours are always usually like the quiet ones.
Yeah, unless I like push it out, then I like make a noise, you know. But like usually, like I said, I've been farting this time, you know. So you haven't heard it smell too, right? The microphone
you
them all.
You guys got the tips from us, you know, so that's how you fart. Spread the cheeks.
Spread the
Or
cheeks.
if you're like Michelle, if it's quiet and doesn't smell, then you're super good.
And even if it smells, just say it was somebody else. Oh my God, it's probably the kids, or
Oh my God.
who knows? But
on to the next subject, which was about photographers on taking pictures. Remember, I showed you before the podcast that there is someone that I forgot his name already, but
is being accused.
Of basically, like, I don't know if it's like sexual harassment or that type of sexual exploitation thing. But have you ever had an instance where like you set up a shoot with someone, they're like, come alone, or you can't bring anyone? Or have you ever had something like that?
Yeah, so unfortunately, because I've been doing this for so long, I feel like there have been a lot of instances now that I've gotten older. When I was younger, I think, was conned into believing that people were safe, and they weren't, you know. But now there's so many resources on the internet, like just verify. So for me, if it's somebody new, I'll always ask for references, and they'll give me their list, and then I will do my own research and do my own. So if there's like maybe a model they posted but they didn't tag, you know, I'm definitely asking her. Or if there's nobody tagged at all on your page.
Yeah, that's sketchy.
It's super sketchy. Like, because why wouldn't a photographer, all of my photographers have always tagged me. So if I'm not tagged, that's kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I have been in some situations where it's been super weird before, during, after.
Yeah.
You just have to be super careful, and you have to, like, if somebody says, oh, come alone, like, don't come, you're not, someone's not, like, even if you're not going to take anybody, you should, and you feel uncomfortable, you should say, you know, is it okay? I could bring my makeup artist, or can I bring my boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, whatever it is. You should feel comfortable in your own skin, being able to ask questions that are completely normal.
And sometimes like I've heard, or they'll ask you like, can you shoot this or this, and like you don't feel comfortable, also be like, no, I don't want to shoot that type of thing.
Yeah. So recently that happened to me, actually. It was somebody, he's a really, really good photographer. He's great. He's super nice. His work is really good.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, I want you to do this and wear this. And I was like, I don't even like shoot that kind of stuff. Like, and I believe that it was because, oh, I don't have anything from you. Like, people are asking when I'm going to have a set from you. And I'm like, that's nice, but I don't care. Like, I think you just should be comfortable and safe.
Yeah.
So if you have questions,
I think definitely I always take someone, unless, like you said, it's someone you really know, like really know, and you shot with. But my mom always, even since I first started doing photo shoots, she would always go with me usually, because sometimes I'll try to ask you like, oh, shoot this. And you're like, oh, like, you know, like you feel like maybe I should because they're asking, but then my mom was always like, no, like, you know, so I learned from her, always take someone, and if they say no, I'm like, then we're not going to shoot.
Yeah.
And then usually they'll be like, okay, you could bring someone type of thing, but.
There's just a lot of, honestly, like, and it sucks to say that there are a lot of creeps out there that have a camera.
Yeah.
That will take good pictures.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they will do wrong things. They'll try to take advantage of you, either with your pictures or physically.
Yeah.
And then there are also times where you don't even know what's going to happen with your things, and they'll exploit you, or they'll sell your stuff without your permission, or whatever the case may be. And I think people need to look up the definition of collaboration, because even when you and I have done stuff, there's always, I believe there should be an equal exchange. And when we do work together and we have like the photographer and we're doing whatever, it should always be comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think the first step to any of these type of things with photographers is always get referrals.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if they have an agent, it doesn't matter if they have a manager, it doesn't matter about anything. The best experience that you will get from people is from the people they've worked with behind the camera. So if like a photographer worked with you recently and they were like, oh, Michelle, I want to work with you, I would like ask you, you know, even if I don't know you. There is a lot of times where there's photographers that wanted to shoot me and I did not know any of the girls they shot. I still ask them. And if they wouldn't respond to my DM, I would send them an email. And I'd be super creepy. I'd be like, hey, and I would send examples. I'm like,
it's smart though,
it's just something that you have to learn. You can't, like, you're not going to like go into this industry and be like, I know exactly what to do. Like I said, it took me so many years to learn it. And
definitely.
I do think there were times and places where I think people were trying to take advantage of me and or my name or whatever it is, and I wasn't smart about it.
Yeah.
So, but now I've learned, and now because I'm older and I have kids, I'm super super careful. I'm like, and I tell them I'm gonna reference check you. And they're like, oh, that's smart. I'm like,
I've spoken to some girls recently that have shot with like a very big photographer, and they told me themselves that when I used to shoot with him a couple of years ago, he wasn't as big, but I always had like a normal experience. But I guess now he like kind of does like the same girls, and he tries to tell them like during the shoot, like, you have to call me daddy. Like it's like almost really when she told me this, it's like I'm like, this is like really creepy and wrong. But I guess because he's so big and like they love his work, they just don't say anything, and he tells them you can't shoot with anybody else but me, like that type of thing. And I'm like, that's so weird. Like, it's just so not. I'm like, this sounds like really creepy. But they keep shooting with him. They're like, well, but we just shoot with him anyways. Like, we don't shoot with anyone else. Or like, we still want to. And I'm like, it's just so. I don't know. When they told me that, I was like, dang. I'm like, who would have got? I don't know. But I mean, it.
I'm not calling any of you photographers daddy, okay? I only call one person daddy, and I share a bed with him because you know, if he put it down, you can call daddy. But if you're taking my pictures and they look good, let me tell you straight up, you're not being called daddy.
I never got over that.
Weird,
I'm like, was he trying to be like this? Who knows? Like,
but maybe he was trying to be a daddy. Maybe he was
girls or something, like his little. But yeah, I don't know. But I guess they're like just keep.
But they were okay with it. Yeah.
So I'm like, well, that's weird to me, but I guess if they makes them happy.
I don't know. I mean, I have jokes like with some of my photographer friends, like
joke around,
yeah, like I have one photographer that I've been friends with for like 14 years. We're friends, and he takes pictures of me, and I take pictures of his butt on on the cell phone.
Yeah, like.
But I feel like there's relationships that I've built, and we make jokes. Like we have like little inside jokes, or I'll call like one of my photographers. He asked me, he's like, I wish I could be your sugar daddy, but I don't have enough money. So can I be your splendid daddy? And I was like, of course, yeah. So I think that's, if you have like a relationship with the photographer, that comes again with time. But if there's somebody that's just saying that kind of stuff, to me that's very odd. Yeah. Just because I wouldn't feel comfortable calling somebody daddy as a photographer, like kind of weird.
So you guys got some of the basic rules. Reference check. If like their tags add up, or the girls tag them. I always look at that too. I'm always like, did they tag each other? I'm like, okay. Because if not, then I'm like, it's just doesn't really match up to me. I'm like, why are they not tagging you? Vice versa.
And I don't like going to photographers' houses. Like, I don't care what kind of nice house you have or whatever. But some of them, like, especially during the pandemic, a lot of people who are, I guess, maybe scared of what's happening, they opened up home studios, which is fine. It's understandable. I get it. There are people have extra space. But if that's the case, I usually will decline, or I will say, oh, I'm only available this time to bring so-and-so. So I think that's another thing to be careful of. I mean, they could have a really nice house or a nice home studio or whatever, but you still have to be cautious.
Photography, that everyone knows. I'm like, Michelle, that's one of her interests. But can we talk a little bit about your ballet that you did before? Because do most people know that, or know that you did ballet?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you a for sure yes and a for sure no, because there are people who have known me for years, and they're like, oh yeah, she does ballet. I still to this day go ballet. I don't put on a tutu or anything, but I do. It's kind of weird because the girls, women, that are in my class, they definitely are just super chill. There's one of the girls in there. She's 54.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but she's beautiful still. Like her movements,
I'm
beautiful.
Literally already imagining. I'm like, but she looks super amazing.
So too, amazing. Yeah. Like it's beautiful. I love it. She's a wonderful person. But her lines and everything look really good. But she just puts on the ballet shoes and she just has like
whatever
sweats on. Yeah. And like I go into the class and I'm still in my tights. I still have my unitard on.
I think I would do the same.
Still have the bun. Like I still do like the normal type of thing. Yeah. In the damn mask. But I still try to do like the normal ballet things, even though I'm not doing recitals or anything like that. Just because it's like, it's just normal. And then when we have substitute instructor. So the instructor normally, she's super chill. She's like in sweats too. But when we have substitutes, they're always in their ballerina
Outfit? With
Yeah.
the outfit?
yeah, so it's like normal, you know. And I'm like, okay, well, to me that's normal too. So I still do it. I love it. I think it's.
Do
it's
the other
something-
people in the class dress up like
No,
how
I'm
you
the
do?
only one.
Why? Why is that?
I think it's just because you're a grown up. You don't want to dress up like that. It's like kind of weird.
You know the movie Black Swan?
Yeah, but that's
Is
like
well, they I mean, not necessarily. I mean, they wore like that type of stuff, no?
yeah, but like I don't think it's not that kind of place. Like it's
Normally?
not like we're not
Oh.
when even there are adults that are still dancing as a profession.
Do they dress like that for their practices or no?
Yeah, they do. If it's a
Oh,
profession,
okay,
but if
okay.
it's just like you're just doing it for maintenance or
You're
exercise,
like, well,
you're
I'm
not.
professional. I know y'all ain't.
Yeah, nope, showing up in sweats. I mean, granted, I don't do it every single time. Like there have been literally, I mean, there's 2 times since I've been in it. I've come in sweats, but just I was having a bad day, or I had just come back from a flight. I was like, oh, gotta go to ballet class. I'm not feeling like putting on nothing that's gonna show my body right now. So I think it just comes with if you want to do it or not. So there's nothing wrong with it, but I do think it kind of like comes from a place where I'm like, oh my God, this is like, I love doing it and I love being in this. And maybe because I love my body too. I mean, not right now, I'm all sitting off. But if you just, you're happy with your body structure and you don't care showing it off, then why not? You just put it on and, because it's skin tight. It's like wearing
My
nothing.
mom used to take ballet classes when I was younger, and I remember the instructor used to tell her, what's it that he was like that she naturally always had very quiet steps. Like some people are just light on their feet.
Yeah.
Like he would tell her, you're like the quietest, most light on your feet. Like it was just so funny because because normally she's not like that now. So it's just funny to think about like how is she so light? But ballerinas have to be super like quiet, right, on their feet, or is it just kind of normal, or how does it work?
I think you're supposed to be. You're not supposed to land and be like thud. You're supposed to. Everything's supposed to be so graceful. You go from, your heels, or you go from your toes to your ball of your foot, midfoot. You have to do all the motions. You kind of can't just be like a freaking fish. This is not floppy fish. This is
How
ballet.
about frog toes? When girls pose and they put their feet like frog feet, and we're like ballerina
instead
toes.
of pointing toes, they're
Okay,
like
ballerina.
wait. Actually, we could go to that. Because every single time I see it, like if I see a picture, if I see your picture and you're doing this, trust me, I'm sending it around to people and saying, "Look at this picture. It's perfect except for this. Point your damn toes."
We call it frog feet. I
can't
my daughter
stand it. I
when
can't.
she
It
first-
makes me.
Yeah.
It irks me.
Irks mine too.
heels up.
But it's not normal behavior to be like sitting, and you're like in a picture and like, okay, you just have to point your toe slightly, but like look at the difference. Okay, look.
Right.
That is ugly.
But
That's good. It's not perfect.
It's like
not
the
perfect,
Wicked
but
Witch of the West, which the house got dropped on her on the Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz.
Remember her feet were like frog feet, and they were up. And
Yeah, they were like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hate that, and I think for me, I'm just like, oh, I'm so used to it. I'll point my toe, and even times where like you're supposed to be kind of like flat-footed because they'll make your foot look elongated.
Yeah.
I still point it. I'm like, damn, I should have just not done that, But I hate
Or
when
like
that
you also
happens.
have relaxed hands. Like sometimes because when you're like really trying to pose everything, you're like you have to still look relaxed. I know before in the beginning my hands would be like grabbing something. My mom would be like, relax your hands. It's like, oh, soft hands.
Soft hands. I think you just have to. There's so many things again to think of when you're taking these pictures. You can't just stand in the camera and be like, it's like not cute. You have to be like thinking, okay, so how is my arm? Is my waist good? Is you have to think about everything, all that stuff.
No,
And a lot of
literally,
people
it's
don't
like suck up, waist back, look natural, chin up, point my toes, relax my fingers,
And
drop my shoulder.
It's like so many things, and if somebody has to say something to you, it's so weird because you're like, oh my God, I know this is gonna look really good, and then you look at they're like, oh, look at it, and I'm all, damn, that shit does not look good. It looks really bad. So it comes with practice, but
Jazzy.
it's definitely not easy.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. But let's plug in Michelle's website if you want to see more of her farts or ballet or her farting while she's doing ballet.
I missed that part.
Or any of the other fun stuff that can, I don't know, like I feel like somebody complained and they were like, you tell too many jokes, and I'm like, Come on now.
You're like, I'm a comedian.
Did it make you smile or didn't make you smile? Did it make you cringe?
I know.
I guarantee
no way
you
that
they were
it's-
laughing.
She's a woman of many trades. Like I like to say, like a female Justin Bieber, because he can do everything.
Does he really?
Compare me to Justin Bieber.
I was like, wait, does he?
I just always say it because it's like, you know, there's that people that just do everything, and I'm like, you just do everything.
Michael Jordan does everything, right? Didn't
Is
he
he
do
funny, though?
basketball,
Yeah,
football, like
Baseball.
golfing? Like I heard he's like a jack of all trades.
Yeah. But she compared me to Justin Bieber of all the things. She was
don't
like,
look like, but
I don't want to say somebody like, you know, Justin Bieber.
just because anytime
I don't have nothing against Justin Bieber, but come on, girl.
anytime they talk to him, it's like literally, oh, I do that. I do like the most random thing. You're like everything, but she is the female Michelle Yee, her own, and everyone else will now be compared to thee. I'll compare everyone else to.
Look at you.
like
We got a
Michelle.
poet in the house. Okay.
So you have her website on the screen, right, Mama D?
Mm-hmm.
And then follow her. Look at her website. Check it out. Subscribe to her. Follow her on Instagram. Keep up with all her up-to-dates. And thank you for coming on again.
Thank you for having me. It was so fun.
You caught us
You
early.
definitely didn't miss much, but Mama D, you missed the fart conversation. I don't even know how we got there, but we definitely were talking about spreading butt cheeks and everything.
I just hope I
You
wasn't
missed it.
part. I just hope I wasn't mentioned in that part of the conversation.
No, Hoochie Mama, you were not.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll catch you here next Thursday. Bye. Subscribe and like, by the way.